So, any board members, Adam, people who have been to Tulsa, enjoy Tulsa, if at any point you want to jump in there and just add a little something about the town that we're going to, or if you have a question, this can be informal. You can go ahead and drop it in the chat. I'll just ask that Adam keep an eye on that for me and, or unmute, ask your questions. So we are going to the South Tulsa area. We'll show a map in just a little bit so you can see exactly where it is in the community. The Marriott Tulsa Southern Hills, they have been a really friendly group to work with. We tossed around some ideas as staff and said, hey, wouldn't it be cool with the Route 66 theme to have some car shows come on Saturday so that some of our recipients can enjoy it and our members can enjoy it? And we were like, well, we got to get the hotel on board. And I said, hey, can we get like 20 to 50 spots to do like a car show? Because we think our recipients would really think that that's pretty cool. And they said, yeah, sure. Just tell us how many spots to rope off. So hotels are not always that friendly. So we're very excited to work with this group. They are very excited to have us. We are a size to where we are pretty much taking over every available meeting space that they have. So it should be a pretty comfortable takeover for us, considering they're such a friendly group to work with. It's very spacious, it's easy to access, it's very accessible. Everything's modern, the rooms are great, and of course it comes with complimentary Wi-Fi. Can't go anywhere nowadays without having Wi-Fi. All right, so if you look at the red dot near the south, as we mentioned, it is the South Tulsa area, but its placement is pretty convenient to a lot of fun stuff. Now let's go ahead and talk about this though. So it's not incredibly walkable to some restaurants. We'll show you some of the closest proximity. Now, when I was there with the board, we had a couple of people who decided to cross the street. So we did do that to go to a restaurant. But for some people, they're probably going to want to jump in a car if you want to do any eating off site. But like I said, we've got some restaurants that we're recommending in the next couple of slides. Just wanted to mention that though, because some people who are having to fly to Tulsa, what you're going to find is your walk may not be right next door. All right, so schedule of events. If you are interested in playing golf this year, golf is typically something that we do during our conference. Because it's summertime, because it will be hot, we've decided to move golf to first thing Wednesday morning. Why so early in the week? Well, we meet every other morning on the schedule. So if you're interested in golfing, just know that you'll have to get in there on Tuesday because tee time is at 7:30. Our conference registration is going to open up Wednesday afternoon. If you've never been to National Conference before, you're definitely going to want to hit up the first timers meeting at 3 o'clock. We're going to have a great duo of individuals to assist you that day. They're going to give you the lay of the land, tell you all the fun stuff that you need to do at conference, and also kind of give you some mentors so that it doesn't feel like quite such a lonely experience. Our Big Hat executive meeting is next, and then we will open up conference with a buffet dinner. We will also have a pretty neat guest speaker during this event. We've not typically done that opening night, but that was when he felt most comfortable coming, and he's got a great message to share. So we are very excited to welcome him. More on that later. And then the Stars Band will entertain us through the rest of the evening with live music. Thursday, we'll get kick-started with our general business session. That's also when we will have the Big Hat lunch and auction. Please know that that is exclusive for only Big Hat members. So if you are not a Big Hatter, you will not be able to go to that luncheon this year. That's when we like to do our free day. So we've got some fun offsite options if you would like to take us up on some things that we're featuring on our registration. If not, you are more than welcome to go check out the sights of Tulsa. You would be surprised if you've never been there before. There really is a ton of stuff to do. More on that later. First, let's talk about Friday. It opens up with a jam-packed day, a jam-packed weekend. Our regional caucuses will open first thing in the morning at 8:30. So that's when you go meet with your region director and the rest of your region and handle any sort of business. Our foundation program will be the first where we gather as a group, and that is where we will do recognitions of donor awards. We'll also have a guest speaker during that particular event. And it's just a great time to challenge one another to give back to our national programs and also recognize those who have already done so. Our Giving Society luncheon will start at 12 o'clock. Don't worry, if you are not part of that Giving Society, we will also have lunch available for general attendees. Education sessions, jam-packed afternoon of some great content. Guess what? I'm getting ready to say it. More on that later. Awards program starts at 5 o'clock. That's where we recognize a few of our achievement awards and some of our merit awards. And it's just a great time. We pull out the clappers, we pull out the noisemakers, and we just go crazy cheering one another on. Dinner's on your own that night. And then we get back together bright and early on Saturday. Trek for Treks is optional if you would like to participate in that walkathon to support the National Wish List. General business session is the first time we gather together. And then we start to get ready for the great Amtrak giveaway. Our president-elect's reception is that evening. And of course, the president's dinner is our last event. And it's the last event of Saturday, starting at 7 o'clock. Sunday, we wish you adieu, safe travels, and you can head home. All right, so some of our education sessions are a little in transition, just because, for example, you'll see that bullet 2, that Amtrak Web Store Focus Group. We are trying our best to finish up the next version of the Amtrak store. Great things are coming down the pike, but if we are not quite ready to do the demonstration, we of course will not do that education at that time. One that you can absolutely bank on, and I think it's getting a lot of buzz, is the new Amtrak model bike build. That will be an Amtrak education session that we offer. We are looking at getting some local news in there to talk about how to tell your story. We're bringing in some other nonprofit professionals to help teach how to lead an effective chapter. The power of partnerships. We are currently working with some different nonprofit groups and service clubs in the community and letting them feature who they are and what they do. So maybe that our AMBUCS chapters can better connect with some of those individuals. And maybe it could get your wheels turning and thinking about, maybe we should connect with our local Kiwanis Club. Let's get a little bit of information about that so that we can create effective partnerships in our communities. During the Great Plains Regional Conference, we had a pretty powerful, small but powerful roundtable discussion during an education session. And it really kind of spurred a lot of conversation. So we had 3 CPAs in the room who were talking to some of the retirees in the group about beneficial ways that they could donate, things that were in their best interest as people who have retirement. And so we talked about qualified distributions and ways that people who have retirement income can donate tax-free. And it really was helpful to have some of those CPAs be able to say, this is what you need to do. And that team of individuals and AMBUCS members agreed to help us out at National Conference. So that will be more of a roundtable discussion and will be better suited for people who are approaching or either already retirement age. We always have a scholarship education session so that you can learn more about that program. I know that there's probably a lot of questions this year because we've implemented new technology. So our very own Karen May at the AMBUCS Resource Center has agreed to take that on and to work with the scholarship committee. So she will be there to help anyone who has some interest in learning more about Kaleidoscope. the electronic tool that we're using this year. Our Big Hat Executive Committee is going to lead a session. And then for any of you out there who are interested in marketing and want some help with your design work, we're offering Canva 101. So I think one of the themes that you're probably getting from this education session is we're trying to bring in a few of our outsiders, some different people in the community, people that we think that we can learn from, but also people that we want to learn about AMBUCS. So speaking of those people who we want to learn about AMBUCS, but we also think that we can learn from, some of our special guests that you're going to be hearing from, the gentleman who said he would rather speak Wednesday night, and we thought, well, gosh, that's the best way to open up our conference. And he's actually the gentleman pictured on this slide here. His name is Sean Lewis, and he has a podcast called Rolling with Sean Lewis. So he is a participant and a chapter member for the Tulsa group of Ainsley's Angels. If you've never heard of that, that is a nonprofit that chapters, much like AMBUCS. And so they will have individuals who are racers. So they will run and they will push people in these carts, things that look like bikes, so that they can participate in those races as well. We're going to have some of his friends from his Ainsley's Angels chapter join him, and they're probably going to be featured during one of our particular ed sessions. We are also going to have Amanda Dickinson from Mighty Miracles Foundation. She has a son who is an Amtrak recipient, and she is a very profound public speaker, talent, and also a nonprofit professional. So we're very excited to welcome her to our list of speakers. Dr. Brenda Reinhardt, she's from Greystone Professionals. Now, she is also a public speaker. She is a mother of 3 of our Amtrak recipients who are going to get trikes on Saturday. So she adopted all of her children, and they are all in need of Amtraks. And so she is very excited to be someone who can benefit from our mission. And she's also a wonderful public speaker. So we welcomed her to join us on Saturday for our general session. So she is going to speak, but then also her girls are going to get their Amtraks. So we've got some really wonderful speakers lined up. Some other exciting things are in motion, such as bringing in some of these service clubs and other nonprofits, local business professionals, because like I said, part of us learning from others is wanting to bring them in and welcome them to what we do as AMBUCS. Our entertainment, as I mentioned earlier, is coming from the Stars Band on Wednesday night. And we're also trying to work with some of those area car clubs to help us get the Route 66 theme going. All right, the nitty gritty, the fun conversation. Cost. So our early member registration rate, and I do encourage you to take advantage of this, is $219, because after June 30th, you're going to pay more money. Regular member registration rate after June 30th is $249. Our weekend registration rate, so say you can only come for Friday and Saturday sessions, that is $159. Still a great way to get a lot of AMBUCS content. Our non-member registration rate, so if you want to bring a spouse who is not a member, or a friend who you just want to learn about AMBUCS, that rate is $199. If you have a child or a grandchild or just someone who is over the age of 10 that you would like to register as a youth, that is $129. Additional tickets that you would have to purchase in addition to some of those are National Big Hat Club Lunch and Auction is $40. That covers the cost of your food. Golf outing is $75. That also covers the cost of your lunch. And then we have some additional ticket options this year. So if you just want something fun to either go do that Thursday free afternoon and evening, or at any point. So the Tulsa trolley tour you will have to do on Thursday. It's $13. It's tons of fun. So we coordinate something through Tours of Tulsa. They are tourism professionals who just are excited, exuberant. They know everything there is to know about Tulsa, its rich and beautiful history. They have done a great job for us when we did our board retreat and site visit in Tulsa. It was just a lot of fun. And so we knew that we had to offer it for our membership. It's a trolley tour. It's going to last this time for about an hour. It's a $13 ticket and it's well worth it. If you are thinking, don't really want to do the trolley, thinking that I would like to do something that's out of a car and on the streets or in the tunnels, you can also go check out the Tours of Tulsa, and they will let you sign up for individual tours. It does not have to be through us, but we're offering that low rate of $13 if you are so interested. Now, the Oklahoma Aquarium, if you typically go, it's a $20 ticket. So you definitely want to purchase through us. The great thing about this Oklahoma Aquarium ticket is if you're have any intentions of ever going back to Tulsa, or you're maybe from Oklahoma and you think that you could use the ticket later, these tickets are going to be good for a year. So you don't even have to use it during our national conference. You can go ahead and purchase that Oklahoma Aquarium ticket for $13. That's a $7 savings, and it will be good for a year. Just throwing that out there. And I've not been to that aquarium, but what I've heard is it's a good one. All right. Why should you come to conference? I'll be honest with you guys. I quite often will hear new people say, I learned so much. Thank you for the PowerPoints. Thank you for the videos. Thank you for the articles. But this was the opportunity where I've learned the most about AMBUCS. And I learn a lot about AMBUCS from a lot of these conferences, whether it's regional or national. And the reason for that is we are collaborating, we are networking together, we are working as a unit to share ideas, talk about things that haven't worked for us, things that could work for others. That socialization and being able to be with our other AMBUCS members and take from their experiences has always been really powerful, in my opinion. You're able to meet those potential partners, collaborate with one another. If you've heard Donna speak at a regional conference, we talk about shoulders together, stronger together. And that's something that we're able to find at national conference. Tons of opportunities to learn. You saw the number of education sessions. You are just going to walk away with so much information. I guarantee it. It's a way to get to Tulsa, check it out, tons of fun, connect with your national staff. We end up bringing almost every person on staff, and there's not too many other opportunities to meet some of those people. You talk to them on the phone so much, you have a Zoom session with them, but to meet them in person, it's probably going to happen at national conference. We leave with inspiration. We leave having impacted a city. We leave having had tons of fun. See, I told you there's stuff to do in Tulsa. I didn't know this until I went. The Tulsa Art District, I am going to find time to check that out this year. I think that is going to be a ton of fun. I might find Adam at the Woody Guthrie Center. I think he's got a lot of interest in going to that. The Golden Driller statue, it's just something that you need to see in person. And I think now when we went on our tour, he has a different color shirt right now, right? So if you've been to see the Golden Driller statue, you need to go see it now, because I think for the rest of this year, he will have that different color shirt, and then he will go back to being completely gold. So if nothing else, go check him out. He's got a little bit of a facelift. I mentioned the aquarium, the gathering place. It's what, 62 and a half acres, and it's completely free parkland. So if you're bringing the kids, if you're bringing the grandkids, that is a way to have completely free entertainment. Discovery Lab is another place where you would want to take the young ones, or, if you want to feel like a kid again, it's a great museum. Anybody have anything to add about things to do in Tulsa that's particularly fun?
I think all of it's fun. I mean, we had a blast on the trolley tour, getting to see the tunnels and hear about the history, and a lot of great eating places. I've been to the gathering place, took my granddaughters. I even got up and climbed up on the all the things that you can climb on. So I love Tulsa, and you got to go to the center of the universe. I mean, it is an amazing phenomena. They can't explain it. It's that bottom picture there. And when you stand in the middle of it and you talk, it sounds like you're on a microphone. You can hear it coming back at you, but nobody else outside the circle can hear you. And I think different tones of voices seem like the women that were in our group, because our whole national board went, they were like, wow, they could hear it, but a couple of the men didn't. It didn't work for them. I don't know why, but that's a really cool thing to see and do.
Yeah, and it's free.
It is free.
That's what I like about Tulsa. There's a lot of really affordable entertainment.
Yes. Yep, for sure.
All right. So I mentioned earlier that it's not completely walkable to restaurants, but you could potentially walk to one if you wanted to. So the closest is going to be about half a mile. So what that means though is you're getting in a car and you are driving up and you're doing a U-turn and driving down. So you could potentially just go across the street to Cajun Ed's is right across the street, but some of these places aren't that bad. But these are, Adam, this is correct, right? These are driving miles.
That is correct.
Okay. Now, Cajun Ed's is good. They've got crawfish broils. You wouldn't expect to necessarily see that in Tulsa, but I thought it was pretty good.
It was good. And I don't like spicy Cajun food, but I liked the food there that I got.
Yeah.
It was really good.
It's kind of like a walk-up eatery. You just tell them what you want. They go put it in the pot and have at it. They'll give you a bunch of napkins too, and you're gonna need it. Let's see.
Well, and we should mention the River Spirit Casino's not very far, and there's a lot of really name brand eating places down there where the casino is. So
yeah. We wanted to mention it just so that you guys were prepared. Now we do serve a lot of meals during your conference experience, so you wouldn't have to worry about every single meal. There is a little pub eatery in the hotel, but if you wanted to go out and experience some of the local eats, you might need to Uber or drive if it makes you more comfortable. So we wanted to mention that.
And Jessica, didn't I've seen so many places, isn't the shuttle available too within so many miles? So if they needed transportation someplace to eat, they could arrange it.
Yeah. Yes, that is correct. Or meet some friends and make them drive you.
There you go.
That's what we did.
All right. So the local tourism in Tulsa is really great. They've got a lot of wonderful resources. They are actually going to come visit with us during Thursday's general session. They're going to be out in the hall and they're going to pass out some visitors guides. They're going to let you ask them questions. They're going to talk about the fun stuff to do in Tulsa. So you will have the CVB there, the local tourism pros, if you've got any questions or you just want some guidance on what to go do during your free day in Tulsa. They were very generous to offer to come sit and visit with us if you so are moved to take them up on that offer. But they've got a lot of really great resources too. Their website's really impressive. Adam, do you want me to click on any of these in particular?
Not necessarily.
Yeah.
But if people wanted to
Just-
dive in.
Yeah, just know that it's out there. They've got a lot of great informational guides on their website. They've broken it all down, the fun and the eateries of Tulsa. All right, and that's our contact information. If you've got questions about registration, or if you just want to know a little bit more about the conference experience. But now you've got the opportunity to ask questions. If there's something in particular that you want to know about Tulsa, something that you want to revisit, what you got? Who's going? Would it be funny if I was like, no, I'm not
Hey,
baby?
I think, is there anybody here that has not been to a national conference yet? Janelle? Well, I will tell you, Janelle, that when I became an AMBUC, I had a couple members of my chapter going, "Oh, you got to go to national conference. It's so much fun." And they kept talking about going and drinking and having parties. And I kept thinking,
Drinking?
"Oh my, drinking.
Drinking?
Imagine
No.
that."
that would never happen.
But all I heard was, "It's so much fun, it's so much fun." I'm thinking, ching, ching, it's a lot of money to spend, especially if we're flying some places to go have fun. I went to one after a couple of years. They dragged me, it was close by. And I've not missed one since. And yeah, it's a lot of fun, but I've learned so much. I've met people from other chapters. I've gotten ideas from other chapters. I've met people that I can call if I have a question or need to just bend their ear. So there's so many more positives besides just the fun stuff. And somehow we need to get the word to all the other members in our chapters about how much they can learn and grow and become better AMBUCs by going to national.
Jessica, we did not talk about, or I didn't add the room rate for the Marriott.
Oh yeah,
Sorry about that.
that is okay. I see you got a link though. Thank you.
I do. Yes.
Yep. So this room rate is $139. It's another one of those rising costs. We see hospitality rates going up, but that's actually pretty affordable for a convention hotel space. Thank you for those links. And so just to make mention, you will need to make sure that you book through those reservation links in order to get the AMBUCS rate. It also helps the organization. So we go into contracts negotiating that we will spend this much on food and beverage. We will reserve these many hotels. And so when you book outside of our room block, they don't always give us credit for those rooms. So when we say we're going to guarantee X number of room nights, sometimes we'll have people there, but the room nights don't count. So we make it nice and easy with that reservation link. You don't have to keep up with a coupon code. You'll automatically get that AMBUCS rate by going there. So Janelle, if you go this year, you will have to make sure to go to first timers. That's the
Well,
place.
I know I've already got my reservations and stuff, and we only went with Friday, Saturday, because we didn't know quite what
Yeah.
was going on according to that. And I know I was just looking at going back to the hotel. I was
Mhm.
looking at, I got for 2 nights, And I'm wondering, I thought I went to what was online, but they gave me 181.77 for 2 nights with 2 adults.
Oh,
And then, so that's pretty cheap,
Mhm.
but I don't know if I'm into the, I just had questions with it because they've already taken that amount out of my credit card.
oh.
That's not normal.
It
That
sounds
doesn't
like you,
sound right.
yeah, it sounds like you booked it like through Expedia or booking.com or something.
Hmm.
And
So-
you don't have to send me receipts or anything like that, but if you are able to figure out who you booked it through, I'm gonna go to our friends at the Marriott and say, hey.
I know, that's what I was just kind of looking at
Hey.
that. It's got reservations. It came from reservations,
Okay,
at reservation, resmarriott.com.
Mhm.
And I thought I clicked on, what was on the website. And that's where it sent me. But that was cheaper than what you had told me. So I'm like, I've got a confirmation and everything, but they'd already taken it out of my,
that is fine. That is
Uh-huh.
completely okay. And I don't blame you for saving some cash. It's if
But-
you guys see our room rate being offered cheaper somewhere else, they're not supposed to do that. Just mention it to me if you happen to see it in advance or in the future. Because I will go to the hotel and say, hey, somebody's offering it cheaper. And we'll get it fixed. That's not an intention of any hotel. They enter contracts with different things. Sometimes new management enters contracts, and it's been explained to me that it's hard for them to keep up with it at times. But we just like to go make mention because we don't want you to book outside the
yeah,
range.
right.
And
And I didn't go to any, because
yeah,
we don't go that many places. I didn't use
Mhm.
another one.
Yeah.
I thought, like I said, I thought I clicked on the link and that's where it took me.
I would be very motivated to go with the better price. If I'm being
Yeah.
honest with you. Yeah. I love a coupon. I love a deal. So thank you. Thank you for mentioning that.
But I was looking at, then I kind of wrote down as I went through, Thursday is the general business session. What does that all include?
We will have a guest speaker at that time. It's also when we do roll call for the organization. So we call out the different chapters, who's present, who's here and eligible to vote. If you miss it though, we also name chapters who are in attendance on Saturday. So it's not like you miss the opportunity to
I
vote.
think there's others from my group that are actually going
Yep.
to be there. I just didn't know quite what was going on. And
Mhm.
then Friday morning is the regional caucuses.
Yes. And you are able to go to those with your weekend registration.
Yes.
The only other event that you didn't mention would be big hat stuff. So if you're a big hatter, wanted to go to the
And I'm not.
auction, yep. Yep.
I want to put a plug in for the Stars Band that's going to be on Wednesday night.
Please do.
It is absolutely one of the best bands that you will have the opportunity to see. I mean, they're great to dance with too, but they're also great to listen. Excellent, excellent band.
Thank you for that. They seem very versatile. Like a
What do
little
they
bit of
play?
everything.
They play a little bit of everything.
Yeah, they do a lot of cover stuff,
They're good.
but everything from Prince to I don't know, really hyper focused on Prince.
You're
I mean-
showing your age.
Yeah, Prince to
Really?
80s rock to modern pop music, everything.
So yeah, the stuff that us older people like too. It was good. And I have to thank some of the region and chapters, some of the reason that we can keep our regional conference fee down is because we have some amazing sponsors. And we have some amazing sponsors again. Some of the regions have stepped up to sponsor their caucuses and other events. Thank you so much. All those little sponsorships even help us keep the costs down. So if you know of anybody that might want to be a sponsor, it's not too late. We can get their name in lights in the program and recognize them, and we appreciate any help that we can get.
Yeah, it's nowhere near too late. Month and a half left.
You know, and we have an anonymous donor that is matching dollar for dollar. So even if you guys donate a little bit, it helps out. That's what keeps our registration down. It's very expensive to put on a conference. But more than anything, please encourage your chapter members to come. We need people there. We learn from them too, and they have a lot to offer us. So we want to hear from them and see them there.
Now I see what they did with me. They only gave me one night. I thought I was booking for 2 nights. So there,
Ooh, okay.
yeah. I just was re-looking at it and it's got checking out Saturday by 11 and I'm going, okay.
Okay.
So,
So why don't I email my point of contact and I'll copy you and see what we can do.
okay, I appreciate it.
Yeah. Of course.
So I knew that didn't, I was looking at it going, what? But, okay.
That's expensive too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to pay that much for just one night.
Yeah, no, and we need it for 2 because we won't be coming back. So I need to modify it somewhere along the line.
Yeah.
Yeah. We will figure it out. Don't
Okay,
worry.
thank you.
Does anybody have any other questions about the conference or? No? Well, Mr. Alex down there is helping with the first timers. So Janelle, you will get to meet him when you get there. So you can find that good looking bald, one of the good looking bald guys on here.
Oh, okay.
Hey, I'm picking on us bald guys, you know.
I said good looking bald guys.
Yeah. So go to First Timers with Alex and the scholarship class with Steve.
Oh,
There
yeah.
you go, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well,
Steve
she'll-
has to act like he knows what he's talking about. Is that what you're
He
saying?
knows what he's talking
Yeah.
about.
Well, she's coming
No, I
late. She won't be there for the first timers meeting, but she can find Alex or Mel and they can get her up to speed when she gets there.
They'll have some tasks for you. Fun ones.
Yeah. Anybody else have anything to add? Carmela, did you try to speak? Did you want to say something?
I was just gonna give Steve a hard time, so it would be fine.
Well, there you go.
Okay.
It's a family thing, you know.
There,
Do we
Yeah.
Family feud here.
yeah.
do we have any therapists on the call?
Is it Kim?
I don't think so. One other education opportunity we didn't mention was we are doing a train the instructors portion of our AEFT. So it's our formalized therapist training that we do all across the country, and we need more people who are qualified to do those in courses. So we are looking for current AMBUCS members, therapists who have an interest, who have been doing fittings for quite some time, who have taken AEFT before and might have an interest in teaching the course in their region. So we are doing a training that will bring up the next generation of those trainers. So if you've got a therapist in your chapter, mention it to them, see if there's an interest, and then you can reach out to us, our very own Marissa Laws. She is our on-staff PT who coordinates that effort. We can find out if Train the Instructors is a good fit for them. 'Cause we cannot do it alone. Shoulders together. We need more people out there who can help therapists understand the benefits and safe ways to do our Amtrak's evaluation and fittings.
Stronger together too. And Jessica alluded earlier, this is recorded, as you guys know, and it will be in the resources in the hub. And if you guys would like to try to get your, share this with your members, try to encourage them to watch this. Maybe it will encourage them to come to the conference too.